into Sun Tzu today, and specifically something I found kind of surprising in the art of war.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, you think ancient warfare, you think big battles, right?
Right, right.
But Sun Tzu has this whole section, a whole chapter on attacking with fire, like arson, and it's incredibly detailed.
Huh. I wouldn't have expected that. So, like, what kind of stuff does he get into?
Well, he lays out these 5 methods, like burning the soldiers right in their camp, burning their supplies, their baggage trains, even their arsenals and magazines, like their weapons storage, and then this thing about hurling, dropping fire.
Wow. That's pretty specific for, ancient times.
Right. You'd think it'd be more like light some stuff on fire and hope for the best, but no, he gets very tactical. And what's fascinating is the stuff about when and how to do it.
Yeah, I mean, you can't just light a match
No.
any time. It's got to be the right conditions.
Exactly. And he gets that. I mean, first off, he points out you got to have the fuel for the fire. Makes sense.
Yeah, got to have something to burn, right?
Right. But then he talks about the timing, and this is where it gets interesting. Obviously, dry weather is key, he says that.
Right. Makes sense. Wet stuff doesn't burn too well.
But then he starts talking about specific lunar constellations, like the wall, the wing, the bushel, and the winnowing basket.
Constellations. What do those have to do with fire?
Well, he associates them with days when the wind picks up. So it's this blend of practical observation, dry weather, wind,
Uh-huh.
with the beliefs of the time, with the stars influencing things. But for him, it's all about making fire a really devastating weapon.
I see. So reading the environment, looking for the right conditions, it's like aligning your actions with nature for maximum impact.
Exactly. And it's not just about starting the fire. He also talks about what to do after the fire starts. He lays out 5 potential developments to watch for.
Okay, so like different ways the enemy might react.
Yeah. Yeah. So first, if the enemy camp is on fire, you attack right away, externally. Hit them while they're in chaos. Makes sense, right?
Yeah, classic move. Strike while the iron's hot, or I guess while the wood's burning in this case.
But the second one's interesting. He says, if there's a fire inside the enemy camp, but they don't react, you hold back.
Oh, that's tricky. Why would you hold back if they're already on fire?
Well, it could mean a couple things. Maybe they're setting a trap, an ambush, or maybe the fire isn't as bad as it looks from the outside.
So patience, even in the heat of battle. Don't just rush in.
Right. You got to see how things play out. And the third one is you attack when the fire is at its strongest, if you can. If not, you wait. Again, it's about timing, hitting them when they're most vulnerable.
Makes sense. Find the weak spot.
And the fourth scenario, this one's more proactive. You attack with fire from the outside, even if there's no fire inside their camp yet, but only at a suitable moment.
So, like, you're creating the chaos instead of just exploiting existing chaos.
Yeah, picking the right time and place to disrupt them. But the most important point out of these 5, and this might seem obvious,
Let's hear it.
is always be upwind when you start the fire. And never attack from downwind. I mean, you don't want to get caught in the smoke and flames yourself.
Right. You don't want to become a victim of your own strategy.
Exactly. It seems obvious, but Sun Tzu felt it was important enough to actually write it down.
Yeah, sometimes the simplest things get overlooked in the heat of the moment.
He also points out that daytime wind tends to last longer, while night breezes are short-lived.
Interesting. So, like, plan the duration of your attack based on the time of day?
Yeah, and which way the wind's blowing. Again, it's all about preparation and understanding the environment. And tying this back to the constellations he mentioned earlier, it's like being able to read the signs and watching for the right day to attack.
Yeah, like a farmer knowing when to plant his crops,
Yeah.
but for warfare.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's not just about fire itself. It's about intelligence gathering, planning, understanding the elements, and knowing how the enemy might react.
It's like fire's just one tool in a bigger strategic toolbox.
Right. And speaking of tools, Sun Tzu makes this interesting comparison between fire and water in warfare.
Oh, how's that?
He says fire is all about attack, causing widespread damage. But water, he says, is more about interception, hindering the enemy, but not completely destroying their stuff.
Interesting. Like, fire's more aggressive, while water's more about control and disruption.
Yeah, and he also warns against acting without a clear purpose. He says that just leads to wasted time and resources.
Yeah, like spinning your wheels, getting nowhere, gotta have a goal in mind.
Right. He's all about planning, cultivating your resources, and only acting when you have a clear advantage. Don't just fight for the sake of fighting.
Choose your battles, pick your moments.
Exactly. And this ties into something he says that really stuck with me. He says, A kingdom that has once been destroyed can never come again into being, nor can the dead ever be brought back to life.
Wow, that's pretty heavy.
Yeah, it's a reminder that war has serious consequences. You can't just undo the damage, so leaders need to be careful, think things through.
Yeah, don't just rush into things out of anger or pride.
Exactly. So, from what we've looked at, Sun Tzu's ideas about fire are much more than just lighting things on fire.
Yeah, it's not just a tactic.
It's about preparation, knowing your environment, thinking about consequences, and acting strategically.
Like fire's a powerful force, but it needs to be controlled, directed.
Absolutely. And it makes you wonder, how do these principles apply to other areas of life? I mean, we're not fighting wars here, but we face challenges, make decisions.
Right. And maybe Sun Tzu's ideas about assessing situations, thinking ahead, considering consequences, those could be useful even off the battlefield.
Something to think about.
Food for thought, for
Yeah.
sure.